Hi, welcome into today's video. I'm going to be going over what is working capital, as well as a few examples to show you. If you're watching this here in the Facebook group, give me a hashtag live so I know you're currently watching. I am streaming through StreamYard, so if it has some kind of a notification and it says allow access to, go ahead and do that. If you can't comment or see certain things, and then that way we can communicate as well even more. But that's the emphasis of this video here today. And I'm going to be talking again about what working capital is, how it works, and I'm going to be showing you a few examples. So stick with me until the very end of this video because you're going to get some goodies. And I'm going to point you in the right direction to go into. And one thing to mention too, if you will be watching this on the replay, give me a hashtag replay in the comment section so I know the time interval you are here at. And again, I'm happy for you guys to be here this evening. It is the 2nd of November, 6:57 Pacific Standard Time here in Vancouver, Washington. Also, let me know, where are you tuning in from? Let me know in the comment section right now live. And if it isn't, go ahead and do so. So working capital, what is it? What is this revenue-based funding? I keep hearing about merchant cash advances, business loan terms. Michael, tell me. It doesn't all make sense to me yet. So working capital is just the difference between your company's current assets and liabilities, to be honest. And that means, okay, you can get a short supply of money or a lot more advanced to you, so you can use it in a short-term solution to pay off things like expenses. We're talking about payroll, marketing, and advertising. You want to buy equipment. For cash flow purposes, you have emergency funds, all these different things. And I deal with this on a daily basis. If I've talked to you already, you already know that's the case. And if I haven't yet, we can do that. Let me know in the comment section what you need most help with. So working capital, basically, it's looked at your cash flow. What's coming in month to month? Is it stable? Is it not? Do you have non-sufficient funds, negative bank statements in the account? And it's more or less just to deal with what's coming in. And we look at parts of your FICO, personal credit score, more so than the 3 credit bureaus. And we say, okay, hey, if X person here has minimum, we want a 450 plus, and I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to give you an example, guys, so make sure you watch. And okay, they have a minimum, they meet the minimum of 5,000 plus per month within each of the last 3 months. So when I ask sometimes, what was your least month within the last 3 months? And you give me, I had a $2,500 month, then that's going to be very difficult because the minimum requirement said it's 5,000 within the last 3 months. And there are other services for it. But if you have, let's say, a 750 plus FICO, which I do come across many times, and I compliment you guys for doing that. Great job. Keep it up. And if you're trying to build your credits, there are ways to do this. Let me know if you need help with that in the comments again. I'll point you to some. This isn't the time for it in this video, but there are things like building your business credit through business lines of credits, using revolving credits for working capital. That's a different option you can go into if you're trying to go that route. I'll make a video for that if it's not already uploaded onto the channel for different services on it. So yeah, you have a higher FICO and it looks like you do over 5,000. You're doing actually very well. You're doing 30,000 plus per month and you need just 12,000 out for expenses. It looks like we can get you a better payback amount. And this happens a lot with interest. If it's a program that has interest low to high, they'll say, okay, well, we can give you less because you are a less of a risk. In those terms, we're looking at your business account. We're looking at your personal. We want to know what's been going on here and there. We want to know if you've been making payments with bills, the electric company, gas, right? We want to know if you're doing that on time, how much of it, and so forth. So we know you're going to be reliable when it comes time to pay it back. And so with that in mind, we say, okay, well, Person X here has a 750 plus FICO. They're doing the 30,000 and they only wanted 12,000 out. And it's less of a risk, specifically in the industry they're in and what they're asking for. We won't give them a big interest rate. Or if it's calculated on total payback, which one program is here, I'm going to show you how it's far superior and why you should be considering this as your one option here, as your number one, if you can, is, okay, well, let's say we calculate from 1.19 to 1.69, your advanced amount. We give you 12,000, then we're going to give you the lesser. We're going to say between 1.3 to 1.45, and 1.19 is a smaller amount, but keep in mind that on average, we do 1.3 to about 1.49, around that range. And if you're more of a higher risk industry, even if your FICO at times can be well, and you meet all the minimum requirements with the income and other specifications in the qualification, then we'll look at it and say, are you high risk or are you medium or low risk? And if you are in like that lower risk, we can give you a smaller payback. And I'm going to show you right now an example of how that all works. But just to refresh your mind a little bit, working capital, difference between your current assets and your current liabilities. We look at cash flow. We want to know what's coming in month to month. Specifically, we look at least the last 3 months. But if you're doing like 150,000, it depends on the program you're on, then we're going to want to verify taxes within a year or two or so, because we want to know who have been the owners within this company. We want to know if there are more than one. We want to look back and make sure we are the lenders here. Well, what happens is I'll send you guys over. You'll get in with the underwriting team, and I have great communication with them. And what they do is they look through the whole process and they make sure they sift through your account information, whether it is manually or you have a system that I'm going to show you here that's automatically. And then they say, hey, let's pass this on to tier A lender here. Boom. And then that lender will look over your information and verify that everything matches, especially your bank statements. And that's why I see so many people getting denied. Don't tell me you're doing, if the minimum qualification, it's 20,000 plus per month within the last 3 months, and you say you did that, I asked you, hey, what was the last month that you made in income? And you say, okay, it was 20,000, but it turns out it was 10,000. Guess what's going to happen? That's right. You're going to get shot down in funding. You're going to get a lesser amount. This is just how revenue-based funding is. And if it's more expensive, I'm going to show you what the difference is, why you think it's too expensive for you and your business. Okay, so many people every single day that I speak to are like, oh, what? You're telling me I could get 12,000, but I gotta pay back 5,000? Doesn't make sense to me. Well, I'm going to show you here in a second. So let me switch on over to the offers tab. I'm going to use the share screen here. Give me one moment. Okay, let me exit out of my view. There you go. Okay, so you may not be able to see this as clearly and up front, but what we're looking at is an example through a program called Bank Breezy. Now, there will be more information of this down below in the description. If it's in the comments, it'll be there. But this is a program through a company called David Allen Capital Inc. I'm sure some of you are familiar with them now. If we've spoken in chat, if I've sent you some links to go check them out. Maybe you haven't gone started because you're trying to shop. I get it. I've been in your position. I know what it feels like. You're like, this Michael guy, he's kidding me, right? He's telling me I can only get up to 75%. And I'm not lowballing you. Trust me. You guys can go look anywhere else. And if there is a better deal, it's going to be very unlikely. And then two, if it is, it's too good to be true. You're going to have people who partner with certain merchants and certain companies who are not doing things legally. And so you have to be very careful. That especially happens in the equipment financing space. I've seen a lot of people who are like, we can help you as a startup business if you just have to put 25% down. If you have collateral real estate, go ahead and do that. but you have to be careful. So this is a cash advance amount, okay, that was approved for $16,500. Now, we have the advance terms right here. It says approved amount $16,500. Total payback amount would be $24,585 at the most. And this is for this specific person here. Now, I won't say any names, but you're looking at it more or less as an example. You're seeing how much they were offered and then how much they would have to pay back. So if we did the math on that, that would be 16,500 times, I think it's 1.49, and that would give you the $24,585. And so we can look below that, and it says number of payments. And then that says there are 94 total payments that are daily. Okay, now let me exit out of this. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, listen to me very carefully. If you're thinking, can I get monthly payments? I deal with this every day on a daily basis. I do not kid you. I've had about 50 plus people today, and the majority of them are always like, hey, can I do monthly payments? Revenue-based funding does not work that way. You might be able to find some MCAs out there with higher interest that may be able to do monthly, even bi-weekly, weekly. But for the majority, you're looking at daily payments. If you think you can get a monthly payment, then go to the bank. If that hasn't worked for you, then this is the alternative option. Okay, even if you do monthly, you're looking at collateralizing. What assets do you have? What real estate are you willing to give up? And we're not just talking about a 10% down. We're talking about so much if you're doing other types of payments. So you have to be careful and wary of that. And those 10% usually factor into the equipment financing space, so you don't have to worry so much about putting down much of that into the working capital side. But keep that in mind. Daily payments, they keep you accountable. I've said this in a different video. Go to the YouTube channel if you're not there right now. In one of my recent videos, I talked about how I spoke to an individual, but this one was more so because, this was more so for the daily payments. They were like, is this that daily payment thing? And I go, yeah. And they're like, well, I'm looking for a different type of funding. Surely it was monthly. But then I questioned it in my mind, having done this for a long time and been in this industry. I know why they're asking that. I know why you're asking that question for the most part. One, you don't have a good understanding of how it works. Now you do if you're watching this. But two, you have something to hide. And I'm not afraid to tell you if we get to that point in the conversation, I'll say, hey, do you happen to have low deposits going into the account? Do you have a business checking account? If we haven't gone there, we'll speak about that. How many bank accounts do you have? Have you just opened a new one? And that's what happened with a recent client that I was trying to get funding for, and he got into MCA Merchant Cash Advance Default. And guess what? You can never get funding ever again. Literally, you cannot. There's no A, B, or C tier lender who was willing to take your file. And there is a low amount of them out of, like, within a specific company that I work with, at least out of the 50 plus, you might have one person who may take that file, but they're going to give you a huge amount in total payback or high interest and tell you, hey, pay this back to me in 30 days. Because they want you to prove to them that you can do it. And I would avoid all that if you can. And then this is something that you have to think about too when we give soft credit check pulls. If you're going into the hard credit check, that's a more shotgun approach. So let's say you got through a soft credit pull, but there's so much information that you still haven't been able to give us, and it's just so stingy. It could be turned into a hard credit pull, which we don't. We stay away from that as much as possible. But then that can affect your credit. And then two, that's pushed into a lot of different lenders and providers. So now you have all these different loan sharks and people who are like, hey, I'm going to send this person's file to here, then your file is going to go there and here. And then now you're getting all these phone calls, and then that's where it becomes a mix-up. So it's a good thing to avoid all that. We don't deal with that specifically with the program that I work with the majority of the time, and I have different ones. But we can find you the best offer there is out there. And coming back to this, let me go back to the full screen. So what you're looking at here in payback amount per day, it's $262. $262, okay? To some of you, I get it. You're like, that's too much. I can't pay that, Michael. What are you talking about? Like, are you seriously going to tell me I have to pay $262? Now, let me come back to the screen. And thank you guys for tuning in. Again, let me know in the comment section, how is your night going? What part of the world are you in? Where are you tuning in from? But $262 in daily payments for the duration, it was about 94 days there. You pay it off sooner, you don't have to pay that full amount. We can take off 4,000 or 5,000, however much that is. You pay it off in 30 days, you're looking at less. Now, if you can't do the 262, this is where the benefit, does it outweigh the total cost in paying it back? You have to answer yourself that question. Today, I dealt with an individual who wanted it. They were asking, I think, for 40 or 60,000 around that amount. And then I bring up the question, how are you doing in monthly revenue? How are you doing within the last 3 months? And they tell me how they're doing, and I'm not going to say it out loud here. But this person wanted funding for a new project they're working on, to build a new product that they're trying to release and launch. And I was doing everything in my power I could. So I told the individual, hey, you cannot get the amount you were asking for. And so I went into the reasoning, and this is more, I keep that a little bit confidential within me and that person. So if we're talking in an intimate, more private setting, believe me, I have your best interest at heart. Guys, lately I've been spending about 2 to 3+ hours per day just on the TikTok app. My mornings, I go through my morning routine, and then about 10:30 to 11, around that time is when I start when I start getting into the commenting, and when I start helping you guys out and giving you options. So if I can't get to you right away, please. So we have somebody tuning in here from New Jersey. Awesome. I was in the New Jersey airport once when I was younger. I was playing soccer, and we landed there, and then from there we went. Oh, I think this was when we were in New Jersey, and then from there we went to Brazil. I think it was my Brazil trip. Just trying to learn the commercial funding business, watching vids, studying, etc. Great. Keep up the great work. I'm sure you've been tuning into my channel. There's useful information in there. I'm going to be updating with some more videos, hopefully coming out with some more business line of credit videos for you guys. But everything I'm telling you here, does the benefit outweigh the cost of paying it back? There's no such thing as expensive funding. Only you, it's subjective to you as the individual. I'm never going to say, hey, you're going to be getting 12,000, but you got to pay back 18,000. Well, if you're not increasing your profits in the next month, if you're only going 13,000 up, or you're dropping a level, or you're staying stagnant in the same spot, does it make sense to take that? Probably not. So what does this tell you as the business owner? If you said increase your bottom line, so you got to increase your bottom line at the end of the day. And you got to find those ways in your business to increase your own profit, your monthly revenue. That is the bottom line. This is a cash flow game. The better credit you have, the less of a risk you have, the more monthly coming in. Okay, we're going to help you. We're going to give you less of a total payback. We're going to give you better terms. And it's highly likely that you are going to look at this and say, a 262 payment, are you kidding me? You're asking me to pay back this amount back, 4,000, 5,000 plus? Of course I can do it. I'm going to do 10,000 extra plus next month. So some of you guys are not in that stage where you're growing and expanding. But for those of you who are, keep what I just said in mind. And don't let the daily payment affect you. That's just how it is in this business. So you don't go into a default and you can never get lending ever again. I have stingy people. I had somebody the other day who wasn't respectful enough for me to answer my question of asking, may I ask why you wouldn't want to take this type of funding? No, thank you. And it's like, when I hear an answer like that, it's kind of stingy because either one, you don't have enough education around it, which I'm here to help you with. And two, you're hiding something. You're putting everything in personal accounts, different business accounts. You've had an MCA default. You're looking for that monthly. And it's just not going to work. Doesn't matter how much revenue you generate. If you have those defaults, If you have different considerations with different merchants that you're trying to get funding with, it's highly likely not going to happen. If you're looking for a buyout, don't come to us. Some other companies will do that, but again, it's very stingy. So be careful. So let me go back to the offer page here and show you another example of a different type of service, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. Let me go back to the screen. So just to kind of recap what we just watched, this is through the bank Breezy, up to $25,000, same day, instant approval. Down below in the description, if you're here watching this on the YouTube channel, in the comments, I may leave it in there, or I'll just link to when I upload this on the YouTube channel so you guys can check it out. So 16,500 approved. Now, we don't know the reasoning why they wanted funding, okay? The reason I ask you guys is so I can evaluate, and it does matter to me, and it matters to the lenders, it matters to the underwriting team, it matters to all levels. 16,500 approved. It can be as high as a $24,585 total payback with 262 daily in payments for 94 days. Okay, so we have to look at that. And then we have some numbers down here that are not as concrete, but 19,635 at the low, and then it can be 21,285 depending on how fast you can pay that off. And then you can choose if you want it, right? It's up to you to say, yeah, I want that funding. Give it to me. So if you're on the fence, if I give you information, you're like, oh man, I'm just going to go shop for more information and see what else is out there. Go ahead. I mean, I don't blame you. I'd do the same thing. I'd go look at On Deck. I'd go look at Everlasting Capital. I'd go look at Rapid Finance, even though we deal with them as well. But I'm telling you, this is going to be the best thing for you. You're like up to 75%. Somebody's going to give me more than that. Come on. You're going to give me more. No, that's not the case, especially with your type of income that's coming in. It's not going to happen. So right here, and then we'll round things up. You're looking at a submission form that I get in my email. I don't think you can see this clearly. I do apologize if you can't, but I'll go through this. It says, congrats, a client has completed the pre-qualification form at your DAC site. So if you guys have come to the DAC site through me as the agent, I will, and you guys sign up and you guys go and fill out your pre-qualification, then I will be notified via email that you did. And I am highly likely going to reach out to you via text, via maybe a phone call, do less of that, but I can send you guys a text. You guys prefer that as well. And then email, and then I'll be here to help you guys throughout your process, as well as the team from the submissions team. They're going to be there. So it says here, hello and congratulations. A prospective capital client just completed the pre-qualification form on your website. Client details, I have scratched that off so you can't see the person's company name, their contact information, how much they're getting, how much they're doing per month, and how much they're requesting. But that's what it's going to say. Company blank, mobile phone number blank, business phone number, the owner's name is, email address is, the amount of money that they are requesting is, and they've stated they're doing this much in monthly sales, as you know. And then you're going to get an email that says you're going to have to upload your 3 bank statements, driver's license, and a voided check. However, we're still trying to verify this. I'm going to reach out to you, and then so forth. And that's pretty much it. So let me show you then in a little bit here the reference sheet that you guys should be taking a look at as well. Here, let me copy and paste this. You'll see it on the screen in just a second. One second while it's loading. It always seems to take a little longer when I'm on video. Okay, so this is a specific program here we have with David Allen Capital Link. And I know there are many different programs you may have run into, or you're like, hey, I got to look out with what else is out there. Now, this is a funding quick reference sheet. It'll get updated a little bit. Should be getting updated here soon, and I'll show you where. But with the Bank Breezy up to 25,000, same day instant approval, funds deposited in your account like no other that you can use to continue to grow, expand, build, get out of a tight pinch, and become more profitable. We're looking at approval amounts, like I said earlier, approximately 75% of your monthly revenue. Example, 10,000 monthly, then that's 7,500 in advance to you as an offer. The repayment amount, now this is where it's going to change a little bit with the updated reference sheets. So listen to me, don't see this as much, but where I'm highlighting it a little bit there, if you can see. So the repayment amount we're looking at 1.19 to like 1.69. We've moved it up a little bit. We're getting more people in and getting more people approved. It's just a little bit higher because we want to work with that, and we want to make sure we're giving the best credibility we can within the company and being as accurate as we can, especially with the amount of maybe risk you have to take on if it's low, medium, or high risk. So example, receive 10,000, payback 11,900 to 14,900 plus. Okay, we're looking at more of a range between 1.35 around there to 1.49, 1.43. We're looking at that is what you're approximately going to get approved for, as high as 1.69 or so. Okay, so that 11,900 can go up to 14,900 plus, like we're looking at 15, maybe 16, 16,900 around there or so. So which is okay, right? So we go back to that example, 16,500 to the 24. So that could probably be 16,500 to 26, 27, which is fine. And again, it comes back to, do you have enough benefits that's going to outweigh the repayment? So there's just some full examples here. 1.919x if paid in full 30 days, 1.29x if paid in full 60 days, 1.49x if paid over your full term. And again, we go up to like 1.69. 4 to 6 month terms, automatic daily payment, sometimes weekly. Minimum requirements for the Bank Breezy side. We have a business checking account. Must be in the name of your business, not a personal account used for business. Very important to understand that. I'm currently in the process. Let me move this around a little bit. I'm currently in the process of getting a few people to make sure they set up their business checking account. They'll come to me and they'll tell me, no, I don't have it set up yet. And there's another case too where their online banking isn't set up appropriately. And it's a whole nother thing where it's like you don't have even your bank statements coming in correctly. So you have to have those things lined up. Very important. Now let me get back into this. And thank you for sticking with me. Again, the links are going to be down below in the description for you guys to check this out. Online banking is set up, must have an EIN number for company. Very important that you have that in place if you want to get funding. 6+ months in business, 5,000 plus monthly in sales. Owner has a 450 plus FICO. Minimal NSFs, negative days, no more than 5 NSF or negative days in any of the last 3 months. This is the current loan consideration we look at. If the client has current capital advance, the amount still owed will be taken into consideration and cause a reduction in approval amount. More funds, second positions may be available. So that is for the Bank Breezy side. Now the DAC, this is the up to $2 million. Incredibly fast funding, approved within a day, funding within 1 to 2 days, more or less depending on your type of funding and your requirements and needs and so forth. So funding amount in terms, fast online funding up to $2 million, approval amount approximately 1 to 2x of your monthly revenue, so 100 to 200%. Example, 50,000 monthly revenue, you get 50,000 to 100,000 advanced offer, and payment history earns you more. Let me move this out. Early pay discounts, add-on funds are available. So no other company does it like we do, where you get more with payment history. We're seeing you are credible, you're making the payments on time, you're even making them earlier, and you're in good standing with these lenders in their eyes and my eyes as well. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to go the extra mile for you to even help you not only with working capital, but with all these different other things. Like if you need credits, repair, credit monitoring, I'm going to be here every step of the way. Now let me get back. Repayment amount, 1.19 to 1.49x, more or less 1.69, kind of like what we covered with Bank Breezy there of your advanced amount. Example, receive 60,000, payback 72,000, 89,500 plus, more or less they're in that range. These are 4 to 24 month terms, automatic daily payment, sometimes weekly, as I covered earlier, better so you don't go into default. And this is just how revenue-based funding is. There are really no other options. If you're looking at monthly, then you can go to a bank if that's going to happen. And if it's not, this is it. So nothing's expensive. It's only expensive to you. And in ways, it is expensive, okay? It is more than what you would get at a bank in terms of it being expensive, quote unquote. But again, it's subjective. Minimum requirements, have a business checking account, must be in the name of your business. Again, not a personal account used for business. Online banking is set up 4+ months in business, 20,000 plus monthly sales within the last 3 months. Monthly sales there, keyword. Owner has 500 plus FICO score, minimal NSFs, negative days. Again, no more than 5 NSF or negative days in any of the last 3 months. current loan consideration. If client has current capital advance, the amount still owed will be taken into consideration, cause a reduction, and approved amount. More funds, second to fourth positions may be available. Now, let me exit out of this screen and we'll round up here. Thank you guys. And if you're just tuning in, I appreciate your time. Let me remove this. Okay. To end this video, we're going to recap. I just spoke about what working capital is. It's really just looked at your cash flow. What is coming month to month? Are you reliable enough? Will I be able to look just from a up-level surface? I know you might not be as upfront with me and tell me, okay, what is actually happening within your bank statements? But guess who's going to see that? The team of underwriters and our lenders. So yeah, you could have got through me as the gatekeeper, but what's really going to be telling is when we look at those bank statements and we see that maybe there are some non-sufficient funds. Maybe you do have negative bank statements. What, right? You went dry one whole month, and that's happened so many times, and I feel for you. I have so much empathy and sympathy because it's like coronavirus and these things happening where you haven't been able to jumpstart your business the way you wanted to, but you want revenue. There's nothing coming in. So what options are available for me as a startup, Michael? Well, there are equipment financing options, but even then they look at cash flow. And I won't cover it in this video. I already spoke about it in a different one, and I've linked to that content. I won't go into it in this video. That's for another time. But make sure you look for that down below again in the description. If it's in the comments there, it's going to be. But working capital, current assets, difference between your current assets and your current liabilities, and within your company. And so we're looking at business information, personal information to make sure you're making those monthly payments on time. We're trying to see, okay, does this person, are they going to pay their electricity bill? What's going on with their mortgage maybe? We're not going to look in depth on that, but it's like, are they doing it? If not, then we're going to be hesitant to give you any kind of money. And if you're not stable enough, and it's like you want the 30,000 when you're only doing 5,000 one month, and then a 2,500, and then a 10,000, we might not even give you anything because you had a $2,500 month. Increase it. If you are doing 20,000 one month, and then you have 25,000, and then it's like 50,000, we're like, okay, this person, we can give them more. We can actually round that number off, and we're going to give them maybe not the 70,000, but we're going to give them the 68,000, maybe the 65,000. Or wait a minute, we'll give you the 70,000. And every industry is different, right? The qualifications, if you're in the trucking industry, are different than they are for construction, depending on what type of service. If you are wanting trucking equipment, even for the construction side of things, maybe you're in the medical industry, it may be a little bit different. But if you're looking for a tractor trailer, an 18-wheeler, semi-truck, the list goes on, and you're requesting about 150,000, then I'm going to ask you, are you doing at least 35,000 plus within the last 3 months in sales? Preferably 50,000 and have at least 2 years in business, 18 plus months. It's acceptable. We can look at it in the eyes, and I can even do some of these calculations for you that our lenders will go through, but I can't give you all of that. I can't tell you how much exactly you're going to get. I can't tell you all that. That's in the hands of our underwriters and our lenders. I can reverse engineer more so and say, okay, a repayment amount, we're going to approximate 4,000. Now we're going to take the amount of payback from the 16,500 advance to the 24,000 and then divide that by the number of daily payments you're going to get. And that's going to tell me the amount of you're going to be paying per day. And then we can cut that off and say how much you're going to be doing per week and then per month at a fixed rate. And that's what we do. We do fixed. And they're least expensive compared to everything else out there. So that is everything in this video. I showed you the examples to look at. We went through just a few of it if you could see it clearly. And just imagine being able to get, if we were talking about, for this example, it can be 100,000 plus, more or less. You get that 16,500 deposited into your account same day, instant approval. You open up your computer, you type in, you see it in your business checking account. A wave of emotions just crosses you. You get a little grin that then turns into a smile because you know you have it. And then two, the second thought that comes across your mind, it's time to get down to business. Let's go get more inventory. Let's go use this for payroll. I have other expenses to use it for. And right away, you're like, bang, 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 bang. You're increasing your bottom line. The next month comes in. You were doing 12,000. Now you're at 24,000. You're like, how did that even happen? I didn't even think that was possible. Or you're at 16,000. That's too much of a stretch. And guess what? In 45 days, you're probably like, now I'm going to get more funding. So you do. What happens? You go and you get more funding. You get another 16,000. Maybe it's 8,000. Maybe it's more this time. You get 20,000 because you're in good standing. I have this 20,000 now. Now I'm walking over here. Boom, boom. Paid off. Got you. Done. Boom. Car off. There. Good. Good to go. What's happening now? I'm growing. I'm feeling like I'm expanding even more. Now I'm going to be able to do it. Maybe it's a one-time thing, and that's fine. But would that help you move forward? That's the question you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, before you go to bed at night, after you're done talking to this guy right here, and you're done weighing your options. Will this suffice? Okay, so that's what you got to think about when you're going through all this. Now, that is everything from me in this video. I do appreciate your time for watching. Everything, if you're watching this here on the YouTube channel, will be down below in the description. You can check out these types of services, startup funding options, as well as many more. I have reviews for them. And if you have any comments, let me know. Again, in the comment section. And if you're watching this later on in the YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Click the bell notification icon so you don't miss a future video I come out with. And once again, thank you for all of your time. I'm not the extrovert guy. I'm an introvert guy, but and it's hard for me to do these kind of things, to get a little bit uncomfortable. But there is no growth in being comfortable, and I've learned over time just more or less how to do this. And it's just kind of a muscle memory that has to kick in from time to time. Again, appreciate your time. Have a great morning, day, night, etc.